The following is an interpretation and demonstration of research conducted at the University of Missouri. The makers of this video claim no responsibility for the claims, ideas, or conclusions presented therein.
We are persuaded to do things every day. We are bombarded with persuasive messages everywhere. From advertisements we read on signs and billboards, to discussions we have with others, it seems that there's always someone trying to persuade us in some way or another. Some people even make careers out of it, including salesmen, bankers, lawyers, and con artists.
What sways our opinion from one point of view to another? Is the brain so easily scammed? What do the logic centers in our brains make us choose one opinion over another? When assessing persuasion, one must take into account not only the content of the message, but also the personal involvement of the one being persuaded.
Psychologists Richard E. Petty and Rachel Goldman of the University of Missouri-Columbia and colleague John T. Cacioppo of the University of Iowa were able to show that our attitudes towards an advocated argument are not always solely based on source credibility, as common sense would have us believe. Their study was designed to provide a more direct test of the hypothesis that under high involvement conditions, a thoughtful evaluation of message content is the most important determinant of persuasion. However, under low involvement conditions, peripheral cues in the situation are more impactful. The subjects were told that the University of Missouri was currently undergoing an academic reevaluation, and that the new chancellor was seeking recommendations about policy changes to be instituted. To obtain a variety of opinions about the university and its future, the subjects were told that the chancellor had asked several individuals and groups to prepare policy statements. The subjects were further told that each of the policy statements had been recorded for possible broadcast on a campus radio station. The subjects were told that the psychology department was cooperating with the university administration in having the taped comments rated for broadcast quality. After reading these background comments, the participants began listening to a recording over headphones.
In this experiment, the participant listens to one of 6 tapes, each same in length, providing 8 points of argumentation, advocating the comprehensive examination. Each were made by the same male speaker, only half of the tapes were implied to be prepared by the Carnegie Commission of Higher Education, while the other half were implied to be prepared by a class from a local high school. This was the manipulation presented for source expertise.
This experiment covered 2 very classical methods of persuasion, the central method and the peripheral method.
So, the central method is a context-driven form of argumentation which focuses on the comprehension, learning, and the retention of message arguments, as well as the self-generation of arguments and the combination and integration of issue-relevant arguments into an overall evaluative reaction. The peripheral method, on the other hand, is driven by positive and negative cues, such as how credible, attractive, or even powerful the argument is. Thus, what we call attitude change is not determined exclusively by either issue-relevant argumentation or simple cue association.
Thus, further manipulations had to be made to the arguments presented in the tapes, in addition to source credibility, in order to isolate the effects of the argument quality from other cues.
The quality of the argument was determined as either an appeal to logic, such as with statistics and data, or as an appeal to the character of the speaker and to emotions, such as with quotations and personal opinion. To account for the level of personal relevance or involvement for the advocated position, half of the participants were told that the policy change would be effective the following year, while the other half were told that it would take effect in 10 years' time. Finally, we also tested a control group without the advocacy message. This group only rated contemporary issues, with one of the issues being that requirement for the seniors to pass a comprehensive exam.
To measure the success of persuasion, subjects were first asked to rate the concept comprehensive exams, and were secondly asked to rate the extent to which they agreed with the proposal requiring seniors to take a comprehensive exam before graduating.
So, the results revealed that the subjects agreed with the communication more when the source had high expertise than when the source had low expertise. Also, the subjects agreed with the message more when it contained a strong message rather than a weak message. Now, most incredibly, a significant number of cases showed that the participants' level of personal involvement in the advocated argument moderated their attitudes the most.
Specifically, an involvement by expertise interaction revealed that under low involvement conditions, high expertise produced significantly more agreement than a source of low expertise. Furthermore, a complementing involvement by argument quality interaction revealed that under high involvement conditions, strong arguments produced significantly more agreement than weak arguments.
So, although the message content may be the most important determinant of persuasion under some circumstances, in other circumstances, non-content manipulations, such as source credibility, attractiveness, and so forth, may be even more important. Specifically, when a persuasive message concerned an issue of high personal relevance, the effectiveness of the appeal was more a function of the cogency of the arguments presented in the message than of such peripheral cues, such as expertise in the message source. But why does this happen?
As an issue increases in its personal implications for the message recipient, it becomes more important to form a reasoned and veracious opinion. If there is little importance, it is unlikely that people will be motivated to do the cognitive work necessary to evaluate an advocacy on the basis of its arguments. In other words, we have to look at the desire to minimize cognitive work versus the desire to be correct.